What's going on, humans, bro? I've already seen like a minute of this shit. Where the fuck is my mouse? But I swear to you. Tiny details in GTA 5 you may have missed. You weren't meant to notice. Got you, bro. Already saw a minute. He basically talked about, because I don't want to rewatch it, bro. He basically talked about North Yankton having different license plates, basically. And then he was like, well, this, like to basically resemble North Dakota. And then how San Andreas, so the ones in Los Santos have the San Andreas plates, resembling 60s and whatever, bro. That being a factor made him look into these other things, bro. Is that good enough for you, bro? Appreciate it, bro.
Theft Auto 5 you weren't meant to notice. Some of them.
So anyway, let's get into it, bro.
Yankton license plate, clearly inspired by South Dakota license plates, for a place you spend 10 minutes in. So I started asking myself, what else did they do? And I've been digging. So today I want to show you 9 more of these tiny details in Grand Theft Auto 5 you weren't meant to notice. Some of them are strange, some of them are funny, and one of them nearly got Rockstar sued. We'll get there, because our first stop on this little tour is the dioramas.
My thing is, bro, I know everything about the game. I would like to know if there's anything that I don't know.
Ever actually pressed your face up against one of these windows in Los Santos? No, you haven't, because you're doing 90 through Rockford Hills in a stolen car. But if you do stop and come right up to the glass, there's a whole room in there.
Oh yeah, he also mentions how like if you like stop and stare around to look at this shit. I was the kind of nigga who like literally I was not interested in anything but just exploring the world, bro. From a creative standpoint. Looking at all the shit these dudes are putting in the game. You know what I mean?
Tables, lighting, a cafe that looks like you could walk right in and order something. You can't. It isn't real. It is a diorama. A shallow stage set, sometimes flush to the wall, sometimes a few meters deep, built right behind the glass. These are a great way to save processing power, especially in a game that came out in 2013. And tons of games use this trick. But here's what blew my mind. I started counting these, and eventually I stopped counting because the number just kept going up. There are an absolute shit ton of these. Clothing stores, bookstores, apartment interiors, the organic food store. Someone at Rockstar built each one of these individually.
I remember, bro.
Pass in 2 seconds. And you might say, well, Rockstar has the budget for that. And yes, they absolutely do. But if we look at a game like Cyberpunk 2077, which came out 7 years later with nearly double the budget, you only get a handful of these. And not because CD Projekt Red are lazy, and for the record, Cyberpunk is one of the greatest games of all time, but because the people at Rockstar are insane people. And I'm glad they are, because there's a real art of all time, but because the people at Rockstar are insane people. And I'm glad they are, because there's a real artfulness to these backdrops when you stop and take a look at them. It reminds me of old Hollywood painted backdrops. They'd make these massive canvases hand painted in extraordinary detail, and when they were done well, you genuinely cannot tell. A fake sky that looks more like a sky than a sky. The whole craft was knowing how much detail the camera needed and where the eye wouldn't look, because our brains just fill in the rest. Same principle here. You're not really meant to notice them. Your peripheral vision catches a lit room through a window, brain files it as real and moves on. The illusion only has to hold for a millisecond. And if these false interiors are Rockstar's way of faking a world they couldn't fully build, I actually found one that is the exact opposite. It might in fact be the most fully realized interior in any Rockstar game. We'll get there a little later, because first we're going to college. Our next stop is the University of Los Santos.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I need to do a GTA GeoGuessr, bro. I don't give a fuck, bro.
Welcome to your first day at a new school. Have you ever actually walked around the University of Los Santos? The main library is modeled after UCLA's Powell Library. The training center mirrors their Acosta Athletic Complex. The arena looks like Pauley Pavilion before UCLA renovated it in 2012. This mimicking of real-world California is all over this game, and I'll show you more of those in a bit. But there's also something funny going on around here. Bro? I don't think this university knows its own name. The official seal says University of Los Santos San Andreas, which would be abbreviated to ULSSA. But the sign when you enter campus just says ULSA, University of Los Santos Andreas. And then the campus t-shirts say UCLS, which would stand for what? University of California Los Santos? Then I went looking for more, and check out what I found down at Vespucci Beach's pier. University of San Andreas Los Santos.
UCLA.
USALS. 4 different acronyms, same school. And I would wager that today's sponsor, Southern New Hampshire University, might be a better bet. Welcome to today's sponsor. I didn't take the traditional path to doing what I do. And I know a lot of people watching this are in a similar spot. Maybe you're working a job or...
My fault, people. Gotta go wash my hands, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not dirty. I'm not dirty, bro. A human being. Alright, we're back, bro. Skits up.
Going back to school feels impossible because you're already working full-time and you can't just stop your life to sit in a lecture hall. They're one of the largest accredited universities in the country.
This nigga's actually
and US
hitting me with a fucking ad, bro. Let's go back a little bit, bro.
And now back to Los Santos.
Get
Okay,
me
so
in
for our
there,
next
bro.
stop, we need to talk about dicks. What, I can't say dicks. Penis. Balls. Winky dinky. Okay, well, I'm not saying that again. Now, I think it's safe to assume most people who play Grand Theft Auto understand that this is a series built on satire. It isn't exactly subtle in the game. Facebook is Life Invader, Apple is Fruit, Sprite is Sprunk.
So
Fast
tough,
food
bro.
chains are called things like Cluckin' Bell and Burger Shot.
Don't forget
Everything in
E.
this
Cola, bro.
world is taking some kind of a pot shot at capitalism, branding, celebrity culture, or American excess. It's probably why we like the game so much. F the system, bro.
That's it,
But it
bro.
wasn't until making this video that I realized the actual extent of it. If something in this game can be turned into a dick joke, Rockstar has turned it into a dick joke. Sorry. Winky dinky joke. I'm not kidding, there are hundreds of ambient signs across Los Santos that reference either genitalia or some sort of bodily function. And because they're baked so naturally into the environment, you barely even notice them.
Yeah.
Willies, peckerwood, click lovers. Take a closer look at that one. The mouse is a penis. Brilliant design. Then there's Floorskin hardwood coverings, which I'm pretty sure is a triple
Bro,
entendre.
Rockstar is
The
so
absolute
funny,
smut
bro.
is endrick of the
Bro,
city.
the funniest
Just this
shit in
constant
GTA
low-
though is 100% the political shit, bro. That whole like story is so
hum of
stupid.
15-year-old. At office,
John
the kid who used to
Cranley,
sit
bro.
in the back of the class drawing dicks all over his binder grew up. That means there is
man.
definitely a spreadsheet somewhere in the Rockstar office accounting for dick joke ideation. Grand Theft Auto 6 probably has a bigger dick joke budget than most indie games have total budget. That is nuts. No pun intended. Grand Theft Auto kind of
Let's
belongs
move
in the
on,
same
bro.
category as a show like South Park, which on the surface it's incredibly immature, but underneath that there are some genuinely astute observations about how ridiculous our world actually is. You have to be smart to be this stupid this well, which brings us to how they tackle the real world. Because nowhere is that more obvious than when Rockstar holds up a funhouse mirror to real-life Los Angeles. Now we've all seen the obvious ones. Everyone knows the Vinewood sign is just the Hollywood sign. You drive up to the Galileo Observatory and you know you're looking at the Griffith Observatory. Del Perro Pier is the Santa Monica Pier, but I want to show you some you maybe didn't notice. And our next stop is right here on Vinewood Boulevard. By the way, if you are from LA, I'd love to hear about some of the random little local nods that you've noticed in the game. But anyway, here's some of the stuff I found. Have you ever actually looked at the names on the Vinewood Walk of Fame? Some of them were clearly named by our high-achieving dick joke extraordinaire. Then you have the spoofs, like Adam Rowney Jr. or Al Di Napoli, which looks like a
Right.
mashup of Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, but also sounds like a really tasty pizza. A lot of these stars are referencing actual in-game celebrities, which is a cool touch. But then I found this star, Dutch London. According to in-game lore, Dutch London was an actor from Hollywood's golden age who starred in classic westerns, most notably a 1952 movie called Bullwhip Fury. Sound like anyone? Dutch London is Rockstar's parody of the 40th US President Ronald Reagan, a conservative actor turned politician known for old westerns, driven
Dutch
cowboy
Van der
named
Linde?
Dutch. Can you guess where this is going? If you've played Red Dead Redemption, you know another Dutch, Dutch Van der Linde, a revenge-driven cowboy. Could it be a coincidence? Maybe. But honestly, with Rockstar, I doubt it. It's one thing to have the same name. It's another thing to have the exact same character motivation as the guy in the game. And it's not just the celebrities they're spoofing. For our next stop, we're heading over to Los Santos City Hall to take a quick look at the state flag. Look at the flag of San Andreas. At first glance, it's the California bear flag, except Rockstar swapped out the iconic California grizzly for
beaver.
a beaver. Now, why a beaver? Like any true journalist, I did some reading on Reddit, and the theories there are Trevor Phillips is canonically Canadian, so maybe it's a nod to that. Rockstar also has a studio in Toronto, and I don't know if you know this, but the beaver is our national mascot, just so people know not to fuck with us. But I think it's simpler than that. I think the beaver on the flag is probably just another genitalia joke. But there's another side to Rockstar, the side obsessed with recreating real-life things. So for our next stop, well, our next few stops actually, we're taking a quick architectural tour. Drive past Eclipse Boulevard in West Vinewood, and you'll see a yellow and black two-story nightclub called Tequila La. And if you know anything about LA's music history, you know exactly what this building is. It's a one-to-one architectural stand-in for the Whiskey A Go-Go on the Sunset Strip. They even recreated Watts Towers. If you drive through South Central Los Santos, you'll find these beautiful, chaotic... I only found this out because I was
Vespucci
walking
Beach.
around Vespucci Beach and I stopped to look at this thing. This massive, twisted
damn,
cluster of
too
metal.
good,
And
bro.
knowing how this game is built, I just couldn't imagine Rockstar dropping this weird, ugly block of metal on the beach with it. And a month after the game released, Rockstar patched the game. It seems like one of the only times Rockstar flew a bit too close to the sun with their realism and had to hit that undo button. Architectural recreations. There's one that really stands out to me, and it's this small traditional Korean pavilion. There is no joke here, there's no pun on the sign. It's just a respectful recreation of Daewoo-young, the real-world Koreatown Pavilion Garden in Los Angeles. What's cool about this is it isn't a massive tourist trap in real life. It's more of a cultural monument for the local community. I mean, I know about it, so it isn't LA's best-kept secret. What I'm saying is it isn't the Hollywood sign, you know? And I think that's a big part of what makes this game's world feel so alive. The people building this map actually loved the city they were making fun of. They were willing to pause the jokes for a second just to make sure that a neighborhood actually felt authentic. Because if you want us, the players, to
even though the amount of times we've gone through there with a vehicle is insane.
And speaking of grounding things in reality, remember when I said I found the most fully realized interior in any Rockstar game? Well, our next stop is the barber shop, and I want you to just look at it for a second. There's a mounted deer head on the wall, sports pennants, a water cooler, a coffee maker, a gumball machine, an old TV in the corner. Firstly, this is a barber shop that was accumulated over years by a person who spends most of their waking life in this room. The microwave is the detail that gets me, because the microwave isn't for the customers, it's for the barber. This person is here all day long. They're heating up lunch between cuts, they've got a coffee going, there's a fan because the AC. Almost every barbershop in Grand Theft Auto 5 is the same room. Same layout, same floor plan, same...
Bro, do we think he's probably not gonna talk about it. Do we think he's gonna talk about how in first person mode you can see the rubbish and shit and empty coffee cups in the first person mode in the vehicles, bro? He don't know about that one though.
Or NPC. Rockstar reusing knows what's going on in the neighborhood before anyone else does. I don't know, it's just a cool vibe in here. But the second you step out of those doors, you are immediately reminded of exactly what kind of game you're playing. Which brings us to our final stop, the miscellaneous weirdness. Because you can't talk about the details about the bizarre duality of the people who made it. On one hand, Rockstar is a developer that refuses to take anything seriously. You have garbage trucks driving around with the slogan "dumping in your street" since 1979, and if you actually follow them, they are literally shedding garbage. Or just take a walk down the boardwalk at Vespucci Beach. If you look at the pavement, you'll see these small numbered boxes. In real-life Venice Beach, this is the exact permit system the city uses to assign spaces to street vendors and artists. But Rockstar didn't just paint the permit numbers. Look at the concrete inside the lines. It is permanently stained with colorful paint splatters. They didn't have to animate an NPC standing here with an easel. They just stain the concrete and your brain instantly fills in the rest. And I think that's the magic trick of Grand Theft Auto 5. It's a world built by people who seem to have a total contempt for modern culture
100%,
and a total fascination with it at the same time. People willing to spend hundreds of hours researching storm drains, storefronts, civic signage, and Grand Theft Auto, the game where you jack cars. And what's crazy is no other medium can do this the same way. A movie can show you a city, a novel can describe one, but a video game lets you test it. And to me, that is the miracle of this medium. Thank you for taking this tour with me. I would love to read any and all comments regarding tiny details you've noticed in this game.
I said this about Mafia as well.
Where I share clips of my videos as I make them, and I'm always open to feedback. So if you want to help make these videos a little better, you can do that there or in the comments.
Bro, I've never watched like details on RDR2 yet, bro. I've actually only played RDR2 once, bro. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's me, bro. Till next time, my faggots. Where is my mouse at, bro? Till next time, bro. Peace.